Are you ready? Are you ready to hear some thought-provoking concepts about how we move our body? I'm Linda Gee-Hesketh, and I'm here as a mom, a wife, a grandma, and formerly trained as a kinesiologist. So the science of human movement, but also a world traveler. So I'm going to bring you concepts based in Ayurvedic medicine, traditional Chinese medicine, different cultural thoughts on movement, and hopefully inspire you to apply some of these really simple principles that are so cool, and they leave us feeling so good. And the side bonus is that we look really good and we move in an agile way, and it's sustainable and harmonious with the rest of our lives. So stay tuned. I hope you're having a beautiful afternoon. I'm walking through the forest in some rain under a canopy of trees, so I'm not getting wet, but you might hear some rain sounds and some thunder. um, I'm called to talk to you about, I'm called to talk with you about nervous system regulation and how this has become catchphrase the last little while, what it is, why it's important, why we should care. So the nervous system is really king in our body. It commands our processes, and it's important because you can um, think of it as a nervous system with two branches. One branch is a central nervous system where we decide all the things that we like to do. For example, I decide to walk forward on this path. And then the other branch is the autonomic nervous system, where automatic things happen that we don't have to think about, which saves our brain space. It's things like upregulating and downregulating things. So our autonomic nervous system has two branches. You can think of them as a plus and a minus. So for example, the plus side, our heart rate might go up, but automatically our heart rate will come back down again. Blood pressure goes up, blood pressure goes down. We turn on food digestion, we turn off food digestion. We turn on growth and repair, we turn off growth and repair. And all of these systems are automatically regulated without us having to think about it, which is great because otherwise we'd have so much to think about all throughout the day. The other thing is we've all heard of a fight or flight, freeze or fawn situation where we get extra adrenaline to be able to do superhuman feats like run through a fire, run really fast from a bear, things like this. It's supposed to be set for emergencies. I would say that happens on the plus side of our nervous system. So, for example, if there was thunder and lightning and a tree fell down right now, my body would stop digesting food because there's no time for that. Blood would rush into my legs so that I could run. My pupils could dilate and get bigger so I could see more. I would allow more light into my eyes, but my focus would be narrowed so I could focus on the threat. My GI tract, my gastrointestinal tract, would probably empty in complete fear. So there's no time for food to digest. you would empty your bladder and your bowels, and you would be able to run faster. This is in an extreme situation. What happens is if we try to stop this surge of adrenaline, the adrenaline stays in our body and we start to tremor. And we hold that trauma, we hold that adrenaline, we hold that heightened sense of readiness to fight or flight or freeze or fawn in our system, in our bodies, most often in our connective tissue, in our fascia. And so what has happened in first world living in the 21st century is we're not using our adrenaline to fight off the bear or run from a fire. We're using our adrenaline to deal with too many cups of coffee, road rage in traffic, feeling exhausted because we have 6 or less hours of sleep every night, because we're multitasking too much, because we missed a meal and we're forcing ourselves to do some physical activity. So the body isn't designed to have fight or flight stimulated as frequently as we are doing it. And so that leads to burning out our adrenals. And the downstream cascade effect to that is then we burn out our thyroid. And then we burn out other things. So it's just one thing after another. The way that we can offset that or rebalance it is to deliberately get into the other part of our nervous system, which the formal name is the sympathetic nervous system. And we do that most quickly accessible through nostril breathing. So wherever you are, just close your mouth and breathe in through your nose and let your body breathe you. As soon as you finish your inhale, you can exhale. As soon as you finish your exhale, you can allow the inhale and just have some awareness of where you feel your breath. So it might be in your nostrils, it might be in your chest, it might be in your belly. And you can do this with your eyes open, you could do it with your eyes closed, you can do this standing in the grocery line, sitting in traffic, standing in the airport, sitting in your seat feeling annoyed if you're in a meeting or having some turbulence on the airplane, or if your kid has just been put to sleep, put to bed for like the 15th time tonight, whenever you're listening to this, or if your server is just crashed. You know, all of these things, one of the ways is to regulate your nervous system through your nostril breathing. The other is through visual imagery. So whether you use a video or you use your imagination or you use meditation, whatever it is. Water can be very calming, whether it's water by having a shower or a bath or listening to water or looking at water in a stream can make a big difference. Making sure that you get enough sleep, which is, if you're over 25 years old, between 7 and 8 hours each and every night. Having some kind of routine so that you can regulate your body, regulate your hormones, The other way is by doing something like walking that's low intensity, somewhat rhythmic, and your eyes scan left and right. There's a huge benefit to the brain, and um, part of the brain that calms you is accessed by looking far ahead, scanning to side, left and right. This is part of the basis behind EMDR, which is used for post-traumatic stress disorder and many other things. You could also use tapping, uh, emotional freedom tapping, EFT. You can look that up. You can use tremor trauma release, which is one of the fastest ways, I think, to actually dissipate the energy that's being held in your body. You could do breath work. So if I take you through a piece of breath work right now, aside from nostril breathing, this is a super powerful technique. If you breathe in on a count of 4, go ahead, and then hold for a count of 4, 2, 3, 4, and exhale on a count of 4, 2, 3, 4, and then hold the emptiness for 4 counts, 2, 3, 4, and then inhale again, 2, 3, 4. This is called box breathing. It's very effective at helping you regulate your nervous system. I'm not going to say you're going to feel like rainbows and unicorns afterward, but it might take the edge off if you're feeling a real panic or a spiral of thoughts that don't serve you. So just continue to do those rounds, and it can make a huge difference. So that would be an example of breath work. There are many types. They're all very powerful. I encourage you to explore them. Also, there's hypnosis. There are healing sound baths. There is chanting. Sometimes singing can make a huge difference because it forces you to breathe. Anything that can help you be very present. I encourage you to do. So regulating our nervous system means that we can expand and allow more of the goodness into our lives. This is a key component to getting results in our personal fitness training clients and our elite athletes, because this is the part of the nervous system where repair and growth happens. Without being in this part of the nervous system, results will absolutely be stalled abruptly, not permanently, but they will be stalled or reversed. And people don't understand this. They say, oh, I'm doing all the training, I'm doing extra. What else can I do? And it's often not a question of what they can do. A better question is, what state can you be in? And being in a calm, relaxed, receptive, repairing, resetting, rejuvenating state of being is the answer. It's the answer to a lot of what people think is overtraining when really it's under recovering. And that way we can up our recovery game and be consistent with it. And I kid you not, your changes can be long lasting, sustainable, harmonious with the rest of your lifestyle, and shocking to a lot of people because people have the paradigm that results take a long time. But if you are able to get into the correct part of your nervous system on a regular basis, your results, our results, are too good to be true. Like, I've seen people just drop stored body fat like wax melting off a candle. I've seen people put on muscle. I've seen people repair illnesses and chronic pain. I've seen people stop having migraines, stop having um, a lot of cramping, premenstrual symptoms. So, respecting our natural rhythms, our natural seasons, and allowing them to be what they are will take you really far. I have some notes in the show notes. I encourage your comments. You can find me on Instagram. Um, I hope you found something that gave you food for thought. I hope you liked some of what you heard today. If you can think of two people who would also be interested in these concepts, I encourage you to share these podcast episodes with them. I'll be back with you weekly, bringing you more, bringing you some very interesting guests, and always bringing you laughs and giggles and really good stories. If you want to connect with me, I'm on Instagram at Linda Gee-Hesketh, and I'll look forward to